Last year, Google launched its first big screen smartphone. It was the Motorola-made Nexus 6. And it did quite well, but some people were critical because of its large 6-inch display. This year, Google returns with two new Nexus smartphones, and here we have the Huawei-made Nexus 6P. Now, this phone has a slightly smaller, more palatable 5.7-inch display, but more importantly, this is the first Nexus smartphone to have an all-metal body. This phone has been launched in India for Rs 40,000, and here we are taking a quick look at it. Now, Google claims that it has managed to cram a 5.7-inch screen in the space where you would usually find a 5.5-inch display, like the iPhone 6 Plus. And this is quite a feat, but it has to be noted that you have phones like the Galaxy Note 5, which also have a 5.7-inch screen and are smaller. So there's no denying the fact this is a big smartphone and you'll need to use two hands to use it. But at the same time, the build quality of this phone is absolutely exquisite. Google's Nexus devices have always had a couple of weaknesses. For instance, the rear camera and the battery life. Google claims they have fixed both those problems in the new Nexus 6P. It has this really nice 12.3 megapixel camera where Google talks about big pixels, which means the pixels can absorb a lot of light and they'll offer better image quality. Google is also talking up the battery of this. It's got a 3450 mAh battery, which is anyway quite large, but there's a new feature in Android Marshmallow called Doze, which can improve battery life by up to 30%. Also, this phone uses the new USB Type-C connector and it supports quick charging. Overall, on the imaging front and in terms of battery life, this phone is going to be quite good. You get the fastest Qualcomm processor on the market, 3 GB of RAM, and also a fingerprint scanner on the back, which Google calls Nexus Imprint. Overall, the performance of this phone should be really scorching fast, and you also get the latest version of Android, which is Marshmallow, which is going to be quite awesome.
So we engage in Nexus for a couple of reasons. One is we want to make sure that the software has a great way to come to life. So we want to make it on great hardware, and that's Nexus. But we also want to make sure there's a pure version of Android out there as well. So Nexus is very important to us strategically. We will certainly want to have Nexus phones in the market.
Back in 2011, Google partnered with LG to create a stellar device called the Nexus 5. It had stunning performance, it had flagship class features, and frankly, it was quite affordable. It was quite popular. Unfortunately, last year, Google did not come up with a successor. Thankfully, this year, it has come up with a successor. It has partnered again with LG to create the Nexus 5X, which has been launched in India right now. And here we are taking a close look at it. Like the Nexus 5, LG is stuck to a rather functional design with the Nexus 5X. By this I mean you get a plastic body, a sturdy kind of plastic body, which is really functional, it's easy to use, easy to handle, doesn't get smudged a lot, and it's really lightweight also. And it looks decent, it will not turn heads, but that's okay because this is not a really premium smartphone, it's a rather mid-range smartphone and it's going to do the job for most people. Get a really fast 6-core processor. You get this beautiful 5.2-inch Full HD display. You get 2 GB of RAM, and the phone is offered in 16 GB and 32 GB flavors. On the back, you also get the fingerprint scanner, and yes, again, you get the USB Type-C connector, which also supports fast charging. Overall, it's quite a sturdy package.